Here we go. Weekend update. We had a lot that happened this week. I'm gonna try to get y'all in and out of here in, let's say, 20 minutes. There's not any big releases next week, so we can skip that whole segment. Now, I do have to tell y'all that I got that shit. COVID touched me right here, bro. I got it. I did it when we were live. We did a whole 3.5-hour reaction to the Game Awards on Thursday on this channel. If y'all want to check that out to get the full show. I had COVID then, and I didn't know until I took my test after that, and it all made sense. Why my energy levels have been so low. I am getting better, so I'll probably be good in a couple days. Super stuffy, headaches, low energy, need to sleep, and all that kind of stuff. But the show must go on. Here we go. This is week 3 of our weekend update. So I'm gonna start it off. We're just going to go through some of the kind of the major announcements that happened at the Game Awards for people who don't have time to watch a whole show. Before we get to that, Expedition 33, well deserved. I told y'all, I've been saying all year, like you heard, anybody that played the game, that really played it, I'm sure y'all have heard how good the game was. I knew it was going to win. I was about 3 hours into that game earlier this year, and I said, oh, this is going to win Game of the Year. That easy. It came away with either 8 or 9 awards, and it came away with the big boy, which was actually Game of the Year. This year was a good year for video games, and part of the reason I say that is because there's so many games that they didn't have like huge budgets and huge studios. It's really the other games with, you know, that they did more with less that got recognized. You know, Hollow Knight and Expedition 33 and all these games that don't have $200 million budgets and all that stuff. So it was just really good to see. And I love games that get around with word of mouth because that beats marketing dollars any day. And this game did just that. So anyway, after I'm done kissing the ass of the Expedition 33, let's talk about some of the shit that they revealed. So there is a new Star Wars game, single player, called Fate of the Old Republic. I don't know if this is that Knights of the Old Republic remake. Actually, well, it says it's a brand new narrative on here right here. So this is made by Acronaut Studios. So we don't have a release date for that yet, but we will see once we get one. Moving on, there's a new Divinity game coming out. Oh, Resident Evil Requiem. Capcom fans, Resident Evil fans, they did show Leon in the new trailer, so he is a part of the game. He is older on here. So I don't know what year it takes place, but this is one of the games I was looking forward to. Resident Evil is always pretty fun, and they don't really bloat your playtime with a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff, so I can play it, enjoy it, and get off, and not have to stay scared for too long. Also, we have 2 new Tomb Raider games were announced. One is a reimagining, is what they call it, of a 1996 Tomb Raider, Legacy of Atlantis. So we have one coming out in 2026 and 2027. When they revealed it, I was looking at it, it just really reminded me more visually of the older games. Now it looks new, but the aesthetic and how the game looked, in fact, I don't really know if that really describes it, looks more like the original Tomb Raider for all the people who've been playing it, Tomb Raider, for a long time. And after I announced that they was putting out a Tomb Raider TV show in the last weekend update, I was on their cussing because I said, yo, can we get a new game? Don't announce no motherfucking TV shows if y'all not putting out new games. So they came and they hit me with 2 of them. I take it. I do like Tomb Raider. We played 3 Tomb Raider games on this channel. Moving on. Control fans, there is a sequel to Remedy Games' Control game. Anybody that's played their games are a little bit strange story-wise, but the gameplay is really good. You think Alan Wake, think Control, think the original, I believe they did the original first 2 Max Payne games, just to name a few of the games that they have in their library. The game looks cool. Control gameplay was always super fun, so I am looking forward to this sequel, and it is coming out next year. Returnal fans, there is a successor that is similar to Returnal called Sorrows. They revealed this earlier, but there was a new trailer for this at the Game Awards. There's a new Mega Man for the old heads. This was my sleeper. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight looked phenomenal. I never played Legos on this channel. When this game comes out, as long as this hoe is spaced out, excuse me. As long as this game is spaced out and not bunched up with a whole bunch of other releases, we should be able to play the Lego Batman. Top tier voice acting. Gameplay is always super fun on Lego games. If y'all didn't know, Lego's is one of the most consistent franchises in gaming, and it's not to be taken too seriously. Diablo 4 expansion for people who play Diablo. I am not one of them. Ricky owes me $70. He made me buy that last Diablo, and I never even installed it and played it. There's a new Star Wars racing game that was also announced. Phantom Blade Zero as release date. September 9th, 2026. Pragmata gets a release date. Lastly, there's more. I'm going to provide links in the description if you want to see, everything that was listed. I don't want to spend too much time on this topic, but the original Yakuza creator has created his own studio. He got up out of there. And he has a game called Gang of Dragon. As they revealed it and I was looking at it, it looked like it was in the Yakuza universe, but it's a separate game. But if you are a Yakuza fan, this might be one of those games you want to look into. So definitely check that out. Total War. Ace Combat. Nope. I'm never playing it. Anyway, GameStop. I need y'all to step forward. Hey, everybody. We gonna sue GameStop. Right now, there's a class action suit. Let me tell y'all something about my pettiness. I know class action suits don't amount to any money, but I need my motherfucking $10. I done sued Walmart. I done sued Sony. I done sued a couple people. Come on over and get y'all $10. Well, it's $10 in store credit. That's some whole ass shit. $5 cash? I'm gonna do a $5 cash. Can't do nothing with $5 cash no more. You can't even subscribe to somebody on Twitch for $5 no more. It's more than that now. Anyway, if you bought something from GameStop from August 18th, 2020, all the way until April 17th of this year, you are entitled to financial compensation in the amount of $5 cash or $10 store credit for GameStop. Just join me in the suit. Together, we can charge these bitches. I'm hoping to sue. I want to sue 2K, and I want to sue Call of Duty as well. Anytime y'all see these, sue them. All you gotta do is sign up, get your $10, because that's all they would give you. I could go down GameStop right now, get my whole setup, my PC, Xbox Series X, PS5, 360, Switch, go explore all that. You know what they gonna do? I let it go. They gonna give me $50. Give me $50. They disrespectful, bro. Ruining kids' dreams and shit. You saving up for new games, you trading in what you got, they give you $10, bro. Fuck GameStop. Moving on. We talked about the Netflix Warner Brothers acquisition last week. If you don't know, Netflix put in a bid for $82 billion or something like that to acquire Warner Brothers, which is already a big company that acquired Discovery last year. Like, we are in the age of acquisitions, and the assets get bigger and the owners get smaller. This is not a good thing. You think about, again, when you were kids, think about how many drugstores existed, how many electronic stores existed. Think about how many restaurants were open. It's all getting smaller because it's less people owning it, because there's more companies being bought out. This is not a good thing, and it's especially not good in the gaming space, because that means that we don't know if the companies that are acquiring the games and projects we love even give a shit. And if they don't, they may never get made again. Y'all think it's a joke out here. It's not good. Not to mention your streaming and product prices going up. Anyway, Paramount came through over top with a deal of their own. Hostile takeover. They put Netflix in a headlock and said, watch out, little bruh. And they came through right here. It says that Paramount, I highlighted in yellow for you guys, their deal includes cash and $108 billion, which is over $20 billion more than what Netflix offers. Now, you may not care, but you should. But a lot of people don't care about it until stuff hits their backyard, and it will. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. So the people that are backing this deal for Paramount include funds from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Affinity Partners, an investment firm founded by Jared Kushner, and that's President Donald Trump's son-in-law. So this could get a little messy. I don't like this, but I'm gonna tell you why I even said what I said. So let me show you this little piece of this right here. Netflix, in the initial acquisition, all this is going to take at least a year to go through, by the way. They says that they did not attribute any value to Warner Brothers video game business in the $82.7 billion acquisition. sparking concern for the future of everything from Mortal Kombat to Hogwarts Legacy. Warner Brothers owns a lot of stuff, and I'm going to show you just some of the stuff that they own here in a second, because these companies are so big that we forget how much stuff they actually have. Now, I know they didn't have a good 2024. Them boys put out Suicide Squad. That game was the rim of that ass, boy. That game was received as well as mine. I even buy that, and I really was looking forward to it because Rocksteady is one of my favorite companies, and they blindsided me with a live service fucking game. Stop making a game live service that shouldn't be, especially from a company that hasn't done it. A studio, let them boys do their art instead of trying to use art video games as vehicles for in-game purchases. COVID. Anyway, he said, while Warner Brothers has done great work in the game space, we actually didn't attribute any value to that from the get-go because they're relatively minor compared to the grand scheme of things. It's not the kind of information we want to hear, because what I take from that is we don't care what happens to the gaming division. And when I show y'all all the stuff and all the potential that Warner Brothers has for video games, you should be concerned too. So let's talk about that. So these are just some of the game franchises owned by Warner Brothers. Once again, the links to all these resources will be in the description if you want to look at this yourself. And when we think Warner Brothers games, you think Injustice, you think Mortal Kombat, you think Hogwarts, you think the Batman universe, just to name a few of the games. And those are really the big ones. You also have Middle Earth. I love Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor. You do have those as well. Just to name a few. They have more than that, but those are really kind of the bigger ones, right? That's just in the gaming division, right? Now, this is the movie division. These are some of the movies that they own. Everything from all the DC movies, animated, all the Batman, all that stuff. I see Pee Wee Herman on this bitch. Harry Potter, of course, they have all that. They have Scooby-Doo. They have The Matrix. They had Mortal Kombat movies, Godzilla. They have, I mean, there's a ton of stuff on here. But here's what really, really is the biggest concern. Let's go all the way up. Look how many studios they own. Warner Brothers Entertainment. And this is all the stuff. These are all the facilities inside that umbrella. Warner Brothers Picture Group, Television Group, streaming. They own HBO, right? They own Cinemax. They own TNT, right? That's just a few. Gaming, Avalanche Software, NetherRealm Studios, Portkey Games, TT Games, WB Montreal, all these other studios. Then there's DC Comics and all these, right? You go further, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, TLC, TBS, CNN. Warner Brothers is already a big ass company, and they're going to be swept up by a bigger company with a bigger wallet. Now, you might say, oh, they only make a few games. You got to think about the potential though. Anything that they own, there's a potential for games to be made. For example, they announced a Wonder Woman game that eventually got canned. Think about all the possibilities. Think about Hogwarts Legacy 2 not coming out. Y'all boys is playing, bruh. Y'all better wake up. This is not it, man. Moving on. Ubisoft. Every time I talk about them, no news is good news. I didn't even know a Splinter Cell Remake was in the works since, according to this article, December 15th of 2021, it was revealed. Yeah, this and Beyond Good and Evil remake. I don't know what they're doing. They trolled us with Splinter Cell. The last one we got was 2014, which I played on this very YouTube channel. All right, y'all know I love stealth games, and I'm really bummed out of how, you know, the stealth genre has been treated like little kids at a lemonade stand, which they ain't get shit. They only get a couple of dollars, you know what I mean? Because they only generate a couple of dollars. They don't get no budget. They put all their budgets to the other stuff. Ubisoft has just renamed their whole company to Assassin's Creed Studios, bro, because that's all they seem to care about. Oh, Far Cry. I'm trolling, but I'm serious. So anyway, there's a Splinter Cell remake coming. We are in the land of remakes, remasters, and reboots. In fact, let me know if y'all could pick any game from any era that you would love to see updated and remade from the ground up. New controls, new graphics, better audio, better mechanics, completely up to date. A game that's not been out. You gotta go back at least 20 years. You gotta go back at least 20 years, bro. Let me know what y'all think. There was a time where I would have said Onimusha or a game like that, but they actually, you know, that's coming out, so that's good. But I didn't know Splinter Cell was supposed to be getting remade. Oh, Ubisoft, y'all did troll the fuck out the community though. Y'all announced like some Splinter Cell like content, but it was just like a player skin for another game that y'all had that's probably ain't even out no more, because y'all be starting games, getting rid of them quickly. Call of Duty. No news is good news for y'all neither over here on this side. Call of Duty will no longer release back-to-back Modern Warfare Black Ops games. Thank you. News like this doesn't, I mean, we don't care. We just care about how the game comes out. Black Ops 7 multiplayer, it's not even terrible. I played way worse CODs than this. I could actually play the game for a little bit, but I gotta be honest, I gotta play this shit. I gotta play in a party with the homies a little bit, but the game is infinitely easier solo. Once you start partying up, man, they start the movement demons and all the, you know what I mean, all the people with all that shit going on, will get in and getting your ass. Prestige masters all over the fucking place. But anyway, there was a time where Call of Duty released games. They had 2 studios and they would alternate. Treyarch, Infinity Ward. They would alternate. Each studio got 2 years to work on the game. Then they added Sledgehammer, so it was 3. That seemed to work well because the philosophy of each of those studios was way different. So the game felt way different, for better, for worse. I know people that hated Treyarch games. I know people that hated Infinity Ward games, but the games were relatively different. What has happened lately, I don't know what's going on in the background, but like it seemed like some people can't do their job. They need help. So now they went back to back with Infinity Ward, then back to back with Treyarch. Sledgehammer was supposed to do their own game. They needed help. Cold War was made in a short amount of time. Black Ops 4 ain't had no campaign. What the fuck is going on over there, bro? You're using the game as the vehicle to sell people stuff. It's not even a game no more. It's a storefront. And one of the quotes they said, to be very clear, we know what you expect and rest assured we will deliver and over. No, you won't. I'm tired of corporate speak. It's stuff like this that they've been saying for years. I don't trust a word that come out these people's mouth. And I wouldn't even, you know what? I thought Modern Warfare 3 was supposed to be an expansion. And I thought they were taking a year off. I don't know if they said that. I don't know if that was confirmed. I don't want to put that on them. I don't got no receipts for that, but I thought that's what I heard. Who knows? But since we're talking about Call of Duty, I think it's very important to also mention, I don't care about sales like that, but I think it's funny. Black Ops 7 sales and players down massively on last year's Call of Duty new data shows. So, according to this, Black Ops 7 is underperforming the last 3 Call of Duties by a wide margin. And the Steam player base is down 80%. And I think it's a good thing. Now, why would you say something like that? Because competition is good. Every studio, every company needs to be humbled every few years. All of them. Everyone. And the easiest way to be humbled is to have direct competition, because then you have to give the fan base what they want, because if you don't, they will go where they're wanted. Some people don't have to deal with competition. NBA 2K. Companies are way different when they have other people that they have to be in direct competition with. This is why it's good. This is why I don't know why people are celebrating consoles going away. It's not a good idea. You're gonna get fucked, man. I won't though. You all right, I was out of pocket a little bit, but I don't think this news surprises anybody. Call of Duty, y'all are not like the big fish in a small pond anymore that y'all was during the PS3, where everybody's friend list was filled with you looked online and the whole friend list said Modern Warfare 2. All right, Arc Raiders is here, Battlefield is here, Fortnite is still doing what they do amongst all the other online games and potential online games in the future. You mess up like this was not the year for this, because you're dealing with this year, and something about Battlefield resonates more with the original Call of Duty fan base. You gotta remember, the Call of Duty fan base I basically see as 2 circles, and they overlap in the middle. Left circle is the people who really started playing around Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, maybe even Black Ops 2. And they're there from there up until Advanced Warfare, right? And then the second half of that is really the people from Modern Warfare 2019 forward, younger crowd. There's some overlap in the middle. But Battlefield seems to resonate more with the people on the left side. People on the right side, they don't mind all the jumping and all the swinging and zip lining and the Cronus Maxes and people cheating with wall hacks, aimbots and such. Because they can buy, you know what I mean, the Beavis and Butthead skin and they can shoot you with a unicorn gun. It's different people. So when Battlefield is here, those people may go over there. That's what it is. And this is not the year for this Activision, because next year y'all got to do with Grand Theft Auto. Enjoy. And they move their release date right into y'all shit. They gonna have to hold that. Anyway, Call of Duty, too bad. Now here's what I didn't like. I have a quote here, okay? I don't need to read the full quote. Do I need to read the full quote? Here we go. Shipping a major franchise like clockwork every year is a really difficult task. Microsoft responds to Call of Duty Black Ops 7 disappointing launch. We don't care, okay? People earning money to buy stuff in your game is a difficult task, okay? We don't give a shit. We don't care about companies that generate hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. Woes. We can't care. Because if you stop looking at your fan base as a number and you start treating them as people, maybe you wouldn't have some of the problems we have. Because a lot of people would tell you Call of Duty shouldn't be an annual release in the first place. They could probably get by doing very well every two years. But there's so many franchises that aren't annual that still do well, that the players are still there. That says that there is an audience and there's millions of people that are okay playing the same game for 2 years. Some people would even say longer. Give these games more time to cook and make people miss you. But they don't care. They don't care. You're telling me if it's a difficult task, bruh, stop doing the shit. But shit, this is not the only franchise they did it with. You did it with Guitar Hero. You did it with Rock Band. You did it with Tony Hawk. You're doing it with COD. That's not my concern, bro. I don't know. I like stuff like that's corporate speak. You can't listen. Billionaire companies can't come to people. Yeah, I mean, who gotta scramble up chains to get caught and tell us that. Stop doing it. You know what I mean? Stop doing the shit. It's the same company. I'm gonna go. See, I've been doing this for too long. They was selling red dots for $20. This company who's saying that's a difficult task. They were red dots. They were selling red dots for $20, man. $22 minutes. You know what? I think we're gonna end it here. There's not really much going on in terms of releases for next week. None of these games really speak to me as far as AAA games. Now, I do play tons of indies. I would have to actually look at these, but none of these actually stick out to me for the week of December 14th. So, I'm gonna holla at y'all on the next one. Do comment below. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed the weekend update. Y'all ugly as shit. I gotta get off here and get something to drink, get some fluids, man, because yeah, man, it got me, man. All right, till next time. Bye.